From Ivy League success to a federal murder indictment, Luigi Mangione's story has shocked the nation. He's accused of killing the CEO of the biggest health insurer in the US. But behind the headlines lies a strange mix of pain, politics, and pressure. Let's break it all down. It happened on a cold December morning. Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, was walking toward a midtown Manhattan hotel for his company's annual investor conference. Then, in a flash, gunshots. Thompson was shot in the back and died at the scene. Surveillance cameras caught a masked gunman fleeing the area. Shell casings left behind weren't just ordinary, they had chilling words etched onto them. Delay, deny, depose. Investigators immediately linked that phrase to a tactic health insurers are often accused of using: delay treatment, deny claims, depose patients in legal fights. The symbolism wasn't subtle. The killing of a high-profile executive in broad daylight outside one of America's busiest cities. It stunned the country and sent shockwaves through the healthcare industry. But this was just the beginning. For 5 days, the manhunt gripped the nation. Police followed tips across state lines. Then, 200 miles away in Altoona, Pennsylvania, they got a break. Luigi Mangione, 26 years old, wearing a hoodie, sitting quietly inside a McDonald's, was taken into custody. He had a backpack with him, which police later said contained fake IDs, cash, and a ghost gun, an untraceable weapon built from parts. Even more alarming was what else they found: a handwritten document filled with rage toward corporate America, and specifically the health insurance industry. According to investigators, Mangione referred to insurance companies as parasites and wrote that they had it coming. He also had a laptop with him, and authorities say he had been following news coverage of the murder. The arrest ended the immediate threat, but raised even more questions about who Mangione really was, and what led him here. What makes this case even more unusual is that Mangione isn't just facing one trial. He's facing 3. In New York, he was indicted on 11 state charges, including first-degree murder as an act of terrorism, a rare and serious accusation. Prosecutors say the killing was meant to intimidate or coerce the public or government, which fits the legal definition of terrorism in the state. On the federal level, Mangione faces 4 charges, including murder with a firearm, stalking, and use of a weapon with a silencer. If convicted on the federal charges, he could face the death penalty, something New York State no longer allows. And in Pennsylvania, where he was arrested, he's also been charged with multiple crimes, including forgery, illegal weapons possession, and providing false ID to law enforcement. 3 jurisdictions, multiple overlapping charges, and a complicated legal path ahead. Just a day before Mangione's federal arraignment, US Attorney General Pam Bondi made a dramatic announcement. She was directing prosecutors to pursue the death penalty against Mangione, making this the first capital punishment case under President Trump's 2nd term. Her statement didn't hold back. She called the shooting a cold-blooded assassination that shocked America, and said the case was a chance to make America safe again. But Mangione's lawyers weren't quiet either. They slammed the decision as political theater, calling it a lawless move and a violation of due process. They pointed out that Bondi made public comments about Mangione before he was even federally indicted, a move that legal experts say could influence jury selection. Now the defense wants to block the death penalty entirely, arguing that the case has already been tainted by politics and media frenzy. It's a legal battle brewing before the actual trial has even started. So who is Luigi Mangione really? Let's find out. If you look at Luigi Mangione's resume before December 2024, you'd never expect this story. He was born into a wealthy Maryland family with deep ties in real estate and business. His grandfather owned country clubs. His cousin is a Republican state lawmaker. He went to the elite Gilman School in Baltimore and graduated as valedictorian. Then came the Ivy League. Mangione earned both a bachelor's and a master's degree in computer science from the University of Pennsylvania. He even founded a game development club on campus. Friends described him as brilliant, polite, and hardworking. One former roommate from Hawaii called him the last person you'd expect to hurt anyone. After college, Mangione worked as a data engineer at a car tech company. His online presence was minimal but clean. No criminal record, no public political rants. Just a smart guy, on a promising path. So what happened? To understand that, you have to look at his body, not just his mind. As it turns out, Mangione had been suffering in silence. According to multiple sources, including his Reddit posts, ex-profile, and old roommates, Mangione had been battling spondylolisthesis, a painful spinal condition where one vertebra slips over another. He talked about numbness, nerve pain, and not being able to do normal things like hike, surf, or even sit for long periods. He posted an X-ray of his spine, showing metal hardware from a 2023 surgery. One Reddit post said the pain left him feeling like his legs were on fire. Another called the experience completely devastating. Experts say that insurance companies often delay or deny surgical approval for spondylolisthesis unless patients try physical therapy first, even if the condition is severe. And for someone in that kind of pain, the process can feel like torture. Mangione never publicly blamed United Healthcare, but the anger toward the system and the timing of the attack raised serious questions about his state of mind. And that brings us to the motive, or at least what police think it might have been. Prosecutors believe Mangione's motive was deeply personal, narrow, and painfully symbolic. Though he never publicly named United Healthcare in his posts, investigators found a handwritten note in his backpack after his arrest. It referred to health insurers as parasitic and said, "Frankly, these parasites had it coming." Even more telling were the bullets found at the crime scene. Etched into the casings were the words delay, deny, and depose. To critics of the insurance industry, these are infamous, often used to describe how companies reject or slow-walk claims. Authorities now suspect these messages were meant as a statement, maybe even a form of vigilante justice, in Mangione's mind. Whether this was political rage or a health crisis boiling over is up for debate. But prosecutors say this wasn't random. It was premeditated, targeted, and rooted in resentment. And that's exactly what makes the legal process so charged. This case isn't just complex, it's a legal maze. Mangione is facing 3 sets of charges across 3 states. In New York, he's being prosecuted for murder in the first degree as an act of terrorism, plus other weapons and forgery charges. Federally, he faces stalking, firearm use with a silencer, and murder. A charge that could carry the death penalty. Pennsylvania? That's where the gun, fake IDs, and his arrest took place. So, he's charged there too. But now, there's a battle over which trial comes first. His legal team wants the federal trial to go first, arguing the stakes are higher. His life is literally on the line. The prosecution initially leaned toward starting with the state trial in Manhattan. Adding to the chaos, the mountain of evidence. Over 3 terabytes of digital files, including social media, Google Drive, text messages, and police body cam footage, must be processed. No matter how you look at it, this trial won't begin before 2026. But Mangione's team says, even now, the scales aren't balanced. As news of the murder spread, so did opinions. And they weren't all what you'd expect. Many people were horrified. A young man with no criminal record shooting a CEO in cold blood? Outrageous. But others weren't exactly mourning. Online, a strange wave of dark support emerged, mostly among critics of the healthcare system. Some social media posts even praised Mangione, calling him a symbol of resistance against corporate healthcare. Hashtags like #FreeLuigi popped up. Protesters showed up in court wearing green Mario hats, holding signs that read, "Luigi before parasites." It's clear, this case touched a nerve, one tied to public anger over skyrocketing costs, denied coverage, and medical debt. Whether you see him as a villain or a symptom of a broken system depends on where you stand. But politically, things are even messier. From the start, Mangione's lawyers have accused the government of playing dirty. When Attorney General Pam Bondi announced the death penalty push, it was before Mangione was even indicted federally. She tied the case to Trump's crime crackdown, saying it was part of the effort to make America safe again. Defense attorneys argued that Bondi's comments tainted the grand jury process, biased potential jurors, and violated Mangione's right to due process. They filed motions to bar future statements and to throw out the death penalty filing altogether. One even claimed, Luigi is caught in a high-stakes game of tug-of-war, except the trophy is a young man's life. It's a legal chess match, and every move is now under a microscope. So what's next for Luigi Mangione? The court has ordered the federal prosecution to submit discovery by May 27th, and the next hearing is scheduled for December, when a firm trial date will be set, possibly for 2026. Meanwhile, defense attorneys are working to block the death penalty. The judge has given them a deadline of June 27th to submit new arguments, and the state trial in New York is waiting in the wings, with terrorism charges that could still result in life without parole, even if the federal case doesn't move forward first. For now, Mangione remains in custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, awaiting a fate that could lead to decades in prison or death row. Luigi Mangione's case isn't just about one man or one crime. It's a mirror to America's deepest tensions. Corporate power, healthcare, justice, and pain collide in one courtroom. Is this cold-blooded murder or a symptom of something bigger? Let us know what you think. We'll see you in the next one.